and I would just ask you, thank you very much. And then just to do a quick introduction for all of you, Interreg REFOCUS is a project dealing with SAMPs, with regional approach, with a focus on data and data-driven planning, peri-urban areas, and also multimodality. And today we have a third webinar in this project where we invite our members from Policy Network, but also projects that are similar in Interreg community. So I'm very happy today that with us are REFOCUS partners from Lepida, from Emilia-Romagna. It's going to be a first presentation by Ianiro Vecchiattini. And then after each presentation, we are going to have a Q&A. So feel free to either raise your hand, or if you don't feel confident, you can also write in chat. We will read your question. But we really would like to have a short discussion after each presentation, especially because after REFOCUS presentations going first, we are going to have a couple more presentations from Jorge Bandeira from University of Aveiro, Ike Biderman from Region Leipzig, and Sebastian Zug from TU Freiburg, presenting two projects which are very similar in focus and aims in Interreg community, TenConnecT and Embracer, to listen to their best practices, also some challenges that they may face throughout the project and introduction of pilots. Then we are going to hear from Baden-Württemberg and Matti Kastendijk about commute platform for the region for ride sharing. And lastly, we are going to hear from my colleague Daniel Herrera presenting MoloHub's Policy Network project and his presentation about reducing congestion through smart service hubs and some of the best practices from Amsterdam and Mechelen. But without further ado, I would just give Ianiro the floor to present. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Marco, and good morning, everybody. I'm Ianiro Vecchiattini. I'm an employee in Lepida SCPA, which is an in-house company of Region Emilia-Romagna. I am a project manager regarding the MaaS for Rare project and the development of the MaaS for Italy project in Emilia-Romagna region. Okay. Okay. Let's start with some definitions. What is the MaaS? MaaS, as you know, is mobility as a service, is a type of service, a new type of service that allows user to plan, book, and pay for multiple types of mobility services through a combined platform. MaaS is based on the idea that citizens can purchase personalized mobility packages which allow them to use any means possible to reach a destination without having to worry about the difference between transport operators. All this is, as Marco was saying before, that everything to be possible, these all things to be possible, we need standardization of the data involved. And so we have set the mobility as a service project in 4 different levels. So based on starting from the definition of citizen needs. So and trying to combine and uniform all the needs that a citizen have to face when planning a trip. So, as I said, we have set the MaaS paradigm in 4 different levels. The first level is the travel planning. So we need that the citizen give us some information from where he or she wants to start her the trip and where he or she wants to end the trip. So the information platform offers sharing of basic information and integration of multimodal information. So the citizen is allowed to insert in a app or in a platform the point of starts and end of his or her trip. Sorry, and the platform provides basic information and also the possibility to pay for a service, and this is the level 2. On the level 3, the platform offers different modes of transport that can be purchased either individually or through subscription and or passes. The added value of this level is that the MaaS service is able to integrate a wide range of mobility service into a single platform, so the citizen does not have to go through several platforms or apps to plan a trip, but it is possible to be done only in one single platform and receiving all the information that are needed to plan a trip. The level 4 goes beyond the citizens' needs, and it is concentrated by the possibility for the public administrations to have a public governance of the mobility, collecting and having the possibility to analyze all the data that are involved into a trip. So let's see in particular what is, in example, a travel planner. The travel planner is a tool, as I said, that allows you to plan a trip using different means of transport. So I only have to provide my points of start and my point of hand through a specific app or platform, and immediately there is a calculation that offers me several combination of several transportation modes to reach my hand point. And to plan a trip using a travel planner, you need to enter a starting point and an arrival point. Select one of the travel solution proposed by the app or the platform in use and purchase the ticket for preferred travel solution in only one economic transaction. So this means that the world of MaaS, the universe of MaaS, is a paradigm that involves several actors, which are the economic operators in mass transport and mobility, because it's a system of clear rules which lowers barriers to entry and promotes market development according to the principles of competition and no discrimination. So we like to say that MaaS leads to democratizations of the mobility. The second actor is obviously the users, the mobility operators, and the public administrations and citizens and users, because can access new MaaS digital service for every travel need, making more aware, multimodal and sustainability mobility choices, perceiving a value comparable to a private car, which is the goal, to avoid the use of a private car, preferring multimodal public transportation. The third actor is the public administration, which is able to govern the mobility of its territory, accompanying the MaaS transformation to collect data, optimize the use of resources, and define and implement policies to encourage increasingly sustainable mobility. In Italy, we have developed the Mobility as a Service for Italy, which take the names of MaaS for Italy. And this is the project of the National Recovery and Resilience Plan, and is called Mobility as a Service for Italy, as I said, and aims to achieve complete digitalization and intermodality of local public transport of a national scale. Emilia-Romagna is one of the regions chosen by the Department for Digital Transformation of the Presidency of the Council of the Ministers and Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport for the first experimentation of this project in Italy, combined with other 6 areas, which are Abruzzo, Campania, Piemonte, Bolzano, the autonomous province of Bolzano, Puglia, and Veneto. So these are the 7 areas, 7 territories, which have been chosen to be the first 7 areas who lead the experimentation of the MaaS paradigm in Italy. Which are the main goals of MaaS for Italy in Italy? The MaaS experimentation in 6 pilot cities experimentation and in 7 territories, including Regione Emilia-Romagna, contributes to the digitalization of the TPL, promote the sharing of data and transport and mobility service. The expected rules are the increase in TPL modal shares, the high satisfaction of travelers, and the positive satisfaction of the MaaS operators, so the providers of the transportation services in Italy. As I said, Emilia-Romagna is one of the territories in which the experimentation starts in Italy. We have called it MaaS for Rare. It is MaaS for Regione Emilia-Romagna. In this slide, you can see the our I would say our picture, our promotional picture of this project. And to the experimentation of the project, which starts on October 2024 and hence formally on March on 2025, but this is only the first experimentation. We also led a second experimentation in October 2025 until December 2025. So we 2 hubs of mobility of MaaS operators joined to the project, which are the hubs called Roger and Munego. So these are formally the 2 hubs that all the registered citizens of Regione Emilia-Romagna could use to plan their travels and go through several advantages in terms of economic that we will see later by traveling using MaaS services. We decided to incentivize all the users that used the MaaS services. So we defined 2,500 users that will be encouraged with particular attention to internal areas and users with disabilities. The experimental user, which we reach a number of 3,800 users in total, will be assigned a preloaded incentive on one of the apps that have joined the MaaS project. So as I told you, Roger or Monego, in two modalities. All the user that joined the MaaS for Italy project have received a welcome bonus of 20 euros and a monthly cashback of the 50% of the purchased title up to a maximum of 20 euro for each month. So the advantages that we expect and that we reached is a system capable of catalyzing and integrating all the mobility service present in a territorial context to become a single point of reference to meet the mobility needs of the citizens. So we wanted to encourage the use of local, regional, and interregional public transport, the use of the intermodality between each public transport, reduce the use of the private vehicles, promote more sustainable mobility by reducing the use of private vehicles, reduce the mobility costs because, as you know, the more the citizens use the public transport, the more the costs are going to reduce. Easily planned trips with fixed times and cost, receiving also several real-time information regarding the travel that the citizen have purchased and planned. So reduce the decision-making times. So by giving a citizen more information and the waiting times, because we think that by receiving a lot of real-time data, the citizens have has the possibility to reduce the waiting times by having the real-time informations about every an eventual break of the lines, and so reduce the travel costs. So we started from an old pattern of the mobility of the connection between the mobility operators and the transport operators, and we tried to to link every subject by using a standard protocols given by the European community. These standards protocols are the NETEX and SIRI. NETEX is a standard protocols of data, of transport data, that in Italy we have classified in five different levels. So the first level is regarding all the fares and the estimated timetables. The second level regards the contracts and the types of the of every single vehicles. The third times regards the fares regarding particularly to the travel planning to the DSRM, which is a national platform that we will see in the next slides, and the fourth and fifth level regard the sharing mobility and the accessibility information. Siri is the protocol, the standard protocol for real-time information. So we try to create a layer of a platform that connects all the MaaS operators, so these are the apps that gives the citizens the possibility to plan a trip with the mobility operators, so which are the main actors that provides the mobility service. So in Regione Emilia-Romagna, we developed a RAP, which is the acronym of Regional Access Point, which is an infrastructure, a software infrastructure that collects all the data coming from the several mobility operators and standardize all these data in the two standard protocols that we have seen on the previous slide, so in NetEx and Siri. Uh, After the RAP has collected and standardized all the data are sent to the NAP, which is the national access point, and that is connected to this DSRM, which is a national platform that collects several services and regarding all the information coming from the mobility operators and also coming from the planet travels, the planet trips by the citizens, and it is able to provide using the apps, so the MaaS operators, to provide all the citizens real-time and static information regarding their trip. But we wanted more. In Regione Emilia-Romagna, we have all, and we are the unique the unique area of the seven involved in the MaaS for Italy project that have also developed a MaaS integrator. The MaaS integrator collects data from MaaS operators who have entered into commercial agreements with mobility operators, and it is a mobility as a service integrator platform enabling the aggregation and interoperability of transport services. So it is a sort of services aggregators, so which is which gives to the Regione Emilia-Romagna the complete governance of the public transport services, from which the Regione Emilia-Romagna is able, in example, to start and create an incentival some advantages for citizens according to some requirements for the citizen to join, and it is also possible to calculate pollutant emissions by analyzing the travels that all the citizens have planned, and all the data comes from the apps of the various MaaS operators integrated inside this platform. So it is a sort of, as I said, service aggregators which stay between the MaaS operators used by the citizens and the mobility operators, and it is able to create a universe that gives to Regione Emilia-Romagna the possibility to completely govern all the mobility processes. So to realize and develop the MaaS operators, the MaaS integrators, which development is led by Lepida. Um, we have started with two phases. only taking all the experiences that we made through the two mass experimentation in the territory. So the first phase only involved the Roger hub, and in the second phase also another hub, Monego, joined the experimentation, and the Regione Emilia-Romagna trying to get into commercial agreements between these operators and the several mobility operators in the region Emilia-Romagna. So the mass integrator management through an agreements between Lepida public transport, Lepida and public transport agencies. So in this slide, you can see all the phases of the project started in July 2024 with the trial with the investigator engagement. So as I told you, in October 2024 till March 2025, we faced a 6 months experimentation of the MaaS services in the territory of the Regione Emilia-Romagna, and but this not end with the end of the experimentation, because as I told you, we try to take and collect all the experiences that we have done with the two experimentations, to go beyond and try to set all the feature of the experimentation inside this aggregations platform, which is the MaaS integrator. And during the development of the MaaS integrator, we have realized that the main important things to make all the subjects correctly work inside this mobility chain, it's the use of the standardized data, because in Regione Emilia-Romagna not all the mobility operators were able to provide the same standardized data as we need. So we tried as by the RAP, so the regional access point, to create a system which were able to standardize all the data as requested from the MaaS paradigm. And in the last month of the 2025, we reached an important goal, to have standardized in NetExp and Siri protocols also the data coming from the Bologna airport. So we were the first area to provide to the regional access point also the data coming from the airport of Bologna. So we are now working on a project, an ambitious project that would lead the children to be able to plan a trip, in example, starting from Dubai to Ferrara, which is an Emilia-Romagna city, in only one hub, with only our one economic transition, and having all the information regarding the trip which starts from Dubai and arrives in Ferrara, and having all the data necessary to do that. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Ianiro. Yeah, really nice news from Italy. I mean, especially for someone working at a network organization and talking with a lot of our members and then looking in a context of also 10T. I just maybe have one question for you. I don't see any questions posed in chat or raised hands. Uh, or Iliani, feel free to.
Maybe Iliana? Yes.
Yeah, hi everybody, and thank you very much for this interesting presentation. If I'm not mistaken, you mentioned somewhere that you actually collect data from different applications and other operators. And my question is basically, how do you manage this data ownership? How difficult or easy it is to respect also the GDPRs, and how easy is this access to data that are owned by others, by other operators?
Yes. At the moment, we can say that we have two main classes of data. The data coming from the mobility operators, and we can say that these are not data covered by the GDPR, because that these are public data regarding estimated timetables or calendars or fairs, and these are public data. The second main class is the data coming from the users. The data coming from the users are collected in a we call it pseudo anonymized. So when okay, let's see the process. The process starts with the user, with a citizen that becomes a user by using an app. So he registered on the app that he or she wants to use to travel their to plan their travels. In the moment that the user is registered inside the apps, the DSRM, so the national platform, gives to the user a code. And starting from that moment, all the data, the sensible data regarding the user are hidden. So that user will be always in all the process identified also only by the code that is associated to him or she. And we have also to respect some policies. In example, as I told you, the MaaS integrator platform will be able to create, in example, some advantages for some users. In example, we can say that tomorrow there will be a new campaign for users that are younger than 30, in example. So we have we have only to collect data which are necessary for the respect of the request of the campaign. So, in example, if the campaign does not requires that you provide the information about your gender, we don't have to collect it. Only if it's an example, if tomorrow there will be a campaign regarding all the females over 65. So in that case, we will have to collect also that data because it's necessary to join the campaign. But in all the sensible data are always hidden because all the users in the moment of the registration, the users start to be managed as a code.
Thank you.
It is only sorry, Liana, I finished, and it's only mandatory to accept policy information before join every single campaign promoted by the regione. Okay, I finished it.
Thank you very much, Marco. I think based on your message that we don't have enough time, right? Another question.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how much time we have after most of presentations, but just not to cut someone short. I also have a question for Ianiro, but maybe it would be important to ask later on international level and MaaS in neighboring countries. But I will just give floor to next presenters, where we will hear from two projects. So together, Jorge Bandeira from University of Aveiro with TenConnect, and also then Embracer and some best practices from Region Leipzig and Ike Biderman and Sebastian Suk. So feel free, I don't know who starts, but feel free to share screen and start presenting. Thank you very much, Ianiro, once again.
You're welcome.
Hello, Marco. Thank you very much for this invitation. I'm really pleased to be here and learn from you, and also share our experience in Embracer and TenConnect projects. So I will start sharing. It's working?
It is, yes.
Yes, okay. So first of all, I will start to introduce the TenConnect project, which is a project of the third call, and as our title said, the objective is to maximize the intra-regional benefits of the TNT network. So in this first part, I will just present the objectives of the project, a couple of good practices that you approved already, and a tool that you are developing in co-creation with running partners about the regional readiness in terms of accessibility to the TNT network. So you are one of the few projects funded on the connected topic from the Interreg Europe. But as we'll see, to some extent, we'll cover all these dimensions in our project. So here, as a third call project, you are now finishing the first year of the core phase of the exchanges of experience. So you have more 3 years, 2 of them to reach some policy improvement, which are the main goal of Interreg projects. So the partnership is composed by 8 partners, as you can see from all corners of Europe. You have the Baltics with Latvia and Riga. You have Ireland, the University College of Dublin as advisory partner. You have Portugal with Central Region and University of Aveiro as lead partner. You have Italy with the city of Alba, Lamoro region. And here you have also Ljubljana, the Institute of Traffic of Transport Ljubljana in Slovenia. And also you have Ukraine with association from the southern west region. So our objectives cover these main dimensions: spatial accessibility, corridor governance, mobility platforms, smart interfaces, and sustainable planning. I will just make an overview of some of these objectives. So in terms of spatial accessibility, you have to understand The distribution changes in accessibility across regions influenced by or covered or crossed by the TNT networks. The idea is that you want to avoid or minimize the tunnel effect, where actually the regions can be very close to the infrastructures, to the high speed or to high speed rail or to a motorway. But in fact, the connectivity to these infrastructures are not well established, or the capability of the infrastructure and how the benefits disseminate across the region are not okay. So I have here this AI generated image just for illustrate and propose, but the idea is to avoid this by the infrastructures that are near the towns, but not so far, not so close in terms of accessibility, in order to promote smooth interface with the TNT network through sustainable modes and active modes to reach the stations. One of the topics that you are also addressing, it's about corridor governance in promoting bottom-up initiatives focused on the business sector engagement and local economic growth. We know, all you know, some villages when the new motorway was constructed, some of the business of the small towns for the bankruptcy or lose the potential to serve the population. And the idea here is to find alternative ways by constructing innovative surface areas, rest areas for trucks, or source of energies for alternative fuels like hydrogen or electric vehicles, charging stations, or microwebs where they start from these points near the TNT network and are a starting point for explore the region using sustainable transport modes. Other issue that which pretty in line with the previous presentation from my colleagues, it's about the mobility platforms, and the idea is that when you travel to a TNT network to other city, you don't have this complexity of multiple tickets for different transport modes. And if it is possible, the ideal case is to integrate long distance transport with the regional transport of the cities of the destination. And you have already some good examples, including in Germany. But the idea is to simplify this process of traveling smoothly from long distance to local transport. Other topic that you are covering is to smart interfaces, both physical and digital interfaces for smooth, eco-friendly movement of people and freight. And here you are mostly focused on, for instance, the digitalization of goods, the new European directives for digitalization of goods that enables a smooth transition from, for instance, from the road to the rail sector and cross-border. Finally, and of course, much in line with the previous topics, the idea is that all these concepts are included in the sustainable urban mobility plans. And one of the objectives of the project is to take into account that this connectivity to the TNT network and of course, in the urban nodes, this is even more important. There are sustainable ways to access the TNT network. These are the main policy instruments addressed. There are 5 policy instruments addressed in our project. The 3 of them are with partners included in a partnership. 2 of them in Slovenia and in Ukraine, they are represented through associated policy authority. As a process of learning and exchange of experience, we are now co-creating. It's not finalized, but it is already a start. This TERI framework, which is a kind of benchmark, a 10 regional readiness indicator. And we are developed this indicator in order to enable a practical tool for regional self-assessment, to support partners identify gaps and opportunities by enabling a cooperation across different regions and policy instruments, and of course support the preparation of action plans for policy improvement if needed. So the indicator is divided in these 4 dimensions: sustainability, governance, user-centric, and user engagement. The indicator is used to be assessed in a very friendly way for policymakers, for technicians of the regional authorities, and the idea is that they can compare different indicators for different pillars. For instance, in terms of strategic alignment, you are talking about our 10T objectives are included in the regional framework, policy framework, the stakeholder coordination, some indicators about funding and financial strategy, and the capacity for lobbying and policy advocacy. So you are also considering sustainable infrastructures and operations. Here you are more focused on the hardware, about alternative fuels network and existence of intermodal labs, digitalization, or environmental monitoring tools. About user-centric, you are addressing how the urban node integration is included in the sustainable urban mobility plans, how in the level of integration of ticketing and planning tools, and how the active modes is also included to assess the transportation hubs. And finally, in the last pillar, you are focused on the, business sector engagement, accessibility analysis, inclusive governance, and social economic monitoring. So this is the first outcome of the last workshop that you performed in Dublin, in the last event. Of course, this is under construction, but the idea is that partners can learn from each other and see who are the best performing in some sectors, and then from them you can improve the exchange of experience process and be very focused on how you can help regions improving the regional. Just summarizing 2 good practices that we have proved already. One is about the metropolitan rail in Turin, Italy. It's a good example of just retrofitting or reorganizing the train network. There are some regions some cities that previously were not connected to the main core infrastructures for instance, the Turin airport. And now by reorganizing the network, there are more direct trains, and also connecting the small cities to the main infrastructure. Other different good practices is a very nice case, how to promote the use of multimodality. In this test bed in Dublin, the Wayfinding Center is focused on some the public transport users among persons with disabilities, mobility, or for instance, blind persons. And the idea is to building travel confidence through a simulated transit environment. You have local buses, coaches, trams, even planes. And the idea is to co-create and test different solutions for these persons, and it's already recognized by United Nations as a project award. So about TenConnect is that the objective. I don't know if I want some questions, or I can jump in the Embracer and you make in the hand.
No, I think we can make two, just one after other, and then have short Q&A.
Okay, so about Embracer, the project is main topic is interconnected mobility across European cities and suburbs. And I will share some of the learnings. This project is a first call topic, first call. So you are now finishing the core phase, the end of the 3 years. So this is a bigger consortium of 15 partners. As you can see, you cover different all corners of Europe, with Portugal, Ireland, Finland, Germany, Slovenia, Italy, Ukraine, and also Lithuania and Serbia. And partners with different profiles, from research institutions to cities to non-profit organizations, and some regions, not cities, but regions, higher scale. So in what is the main issue that you are trying to address in our project? All of these cities in our consortium have nice urban centers, full of activity, full of transport solutions, active mobility, bus, trams, metro, bicycles, and this is common across all main cities of our consortium. In fact, our landscape is not just about these cities. Even these major cities, like in Leipzig, or in Slovenia, or in Cagliari in Italy, or in Bucharest in Romania, are made of, in the most of the area are made of these regions where it's not really easy to provide sustainable public transport solutions because of the lower density, which simply is not easy to make sustainable transport options. And the idea of our project is how to reduce the car dependence and provide alternative solutions to our citizens. Because so far and now, this is not so true. I noticed that in the last 3-4 years, there was an increase of projects focused on rural mobility. But by solving also these issues of rural and peri-urban areas, you are also decreasing the stress of urban environment, because if you reduce the car usage to assess the cities, you solve two problems on the road. So, and you know that the costs of car dependence on these peri-urban and rural areas are negative in different dimensions in terms of environmental impact, by increasing emissions and reliance on fossil fuels. In terms of social equity, because if you are truly dependent on the car, you are losing access opportunities for those unable to drive or afford car ownership. And in terms of economic costs, there are lots of increase for operators, state and families, and some, of course, causing some barriers to economic development. How are you taking this in Embracer? You are, of course, Interreg Europe project is focused on good practice, exchange of good practice. We submit a lot of different good practices and very innovative alternatives to solve this issue. You are invited to see our project. But you are also concluding or developed 3 pilot actions that are funded by the program. The first one was in Vilnius, in Lithuania, and was started from the beginning of the project, in which the partners were inspired by a solution in the Tampere region, in the Tampere city in the Finland, where they use autonomous vehicles to increase the geographic coverage of the tram network of the city in the lower density suburbs. The partners of Lithuania also tested the inclusion of autonomous shuttle that were designed to cover a new line that they designed in the city. The pilot ran for 3 months, and they assessed the trust of the people, the costs, and technical issues. But overall, there was 80% of willingness of the users to continue using these kind of services. You also have in Italy, Cagliari, a recent launch service from the where electric demand responsive transport, new van, now is successfully connecting isolated coastal populations to the main metro city network. And if you prove this success after this pilot, the idea is to implement this fully for a long term. And now in Germany, in Leipzig, I will give space for my colleagues to estimate how can you make some potential ideas to make the bike sharing systems more efficient in lower density areas, for instance, to automation of the rebalancing process. Just another good practice that you submitted, and the neighbors of our partners in Leipzig. It's about this solution to bridge the transport gap in rural northern Saxony, specifically connecting residents to some recreational areas, some lakes that are nearby, and the solution was to develop an automated self-driving shuttle services operating at 60 kilometers per hour, which is a very good value, taking into account what is the benchmark in many cities, and using data-driven spatial analysis, demographics, and traffic patterns to identify optimal routes and evaluate potential tourism potential. So this pilot, or this is not a pilot, it's already a full services that is running during all years, and of course is a good blueprint of transport on demand, and it can be exported and tested in other regions. So now maybe I will give the floor to my colleagues from Leipzig to share some their experience about the implementation of the pilot in the city. Thank you.
Marco, just quickly, well, I mean, I also had a presentation on the good practice, like the flash shuttle, but since we're running a bit late, should we move on to the pilot action right away?
Maybe, yeah, just to give enough space also for the last two presenters, since, yeah, but feel free to.
I sent you my presentation and you can still share it with everyone then afterwards. Okay. So can you see the presentation now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is a pilot action that we applied for in the Embracer project. It's called Smart Redistribution of Suburban Bike Sharing in Northern Saxony. So it takes place in the city of Schkeuditz in Northern Saxony. The city of Schkeuditz has 19,000 inhabitants. It's connected to Leipzig by tram, bus, and like the S-Bahn, which is a regional train service, and it's also close to the airport of the region. So we're working in this pilot action with Nextbike. That's a bike sharing company that was founded in Leipzig actually in 2004. It's active in 400 cities and in 23 countries. It's often integrated with public transport networks and municipal administrations, and they offer various models, station-based, free-floating, also hybrid systems. And in Schkeuditz, where we're running our pilot action, it's a free-floating system, and Nextbike has a contract with the town. So what we're doing there is that we're manually redistributing bikes to improve usage in this suburban area. The challenge is that in Schkeuditz, it's a free-floating system. That means the bikes can be left anywhere in the town. So we have an excessive concentration of bicycles in low-demand areas and an insufficient availability at high-demand locations, such as like tram stations or regional train stations. The long-term vision is an autonomous robot-based bicycle redistribution to ensure balanced availability across town. And we're working in this pilot action with like different regional partners. That's the Road Traffic Authority of Northern Saxony. It's also the city of Schkeuditz, then Nextbike, then Linearis. That's the company that actually does the manual redistribution in the city. And our scientific partner is the Technical University Freiberg. And once I'm finished with the next slide, then Sebastian Zug from the Technical University will go more into like the technical details of the pilot action. So the current status of the pilot action is that we had like several kickoff activities since October 2025. We had to find a scientific partner, which we did with like Linearis and the Technical University that I just told you about. We purchased Nextbike user data. The data collection staff has been trained, and the test routes have been developed, and redistribution plans have also been developed. And we started with the data collection and the manual redistribution in March 2026. And now the next steps are to fine-tune the redistribution strategy and also to assess this strategy and the bike availability situations. And yeah, Sebastian Zug from the university will take over now and tell you more about the pilot action.
Okay, just sharing my slide. I guess everyone can see the next slide now. Hi, this is Sebastian from TU Bergakademie Freiberg. We have a strong experiences in outdoor robotics. As you can see, we are interested in planning processes for small autonomous devices operating in rural and urban scenarios. And we are convinced that just one application is not enough to reach a level of economical success. And in this way, we are looking for further applications for these devices. And as already described by Ike, we have the idea that the redistribution, rebalancing of rental bikes could be a sufficient field of application. For this purpose, we ask the question, what kind of scenario we can implement, or what are the challenges on this way. Of course, we have a physical interaction with bicycles. I have some illustrations afterwards depicting the problems in this during this process. Of course, we need a safe navigation in an unstructured public environment. It's not comparable to autonomous driving on streets. If you consider your daily walk from your home to your institution, there is a high dynamic in pathway, pedestrian ways, or bicycle ways. The width, obstacles, or any other challenges will occur there. So the robot needs to be very flexible and have to react on this situation. The distribution, redistribution, planning, and optimization is a focus of our current work, and we try to show the results, the effects of such optimization based on the idea that a human person operates like a robot, and we would like to emphasize the challenges as well as the chances of such redistribution optimization. Energy efficiency, of course, is a relevant topic here, as well as reliability, regularity, compliance. In Germany, as probably in most of European countries, the regulations related to the small size autonomous systems are not well defined. In some cases, you have to be handled like an autonomous car. In other cases, it's handled like a toy. So different preconditions, requirements are the issues you have to handle with if you want to run such an experiment. Following this idea, we focus on a human redistribution, but using the same tracks, using the same paths as a robot can do. What are the mechanisms we implemented? And starting in March, all of them are tested in a real environment. So we firstly made an monitoring of all bicycle positions since 18 months. So we have a bunch of data which can be evaluated related to hotspots and demanded positions. This is done in a 10-minute period since, as I already said, 18 months. And we try to find hotspots or clusters of these rental bike situations. Of course, you are not allowed, or you cannot leave a bike at each position in Schkeuditz town city center due to space conditions, environmental conditions, of course. And we identified 42 clusters distributed in the city, which can be considered as a part of our optimization strategy. Some of them are a source of bicycles. In other cases, we have a larger demand than available bicycles here. And the idea is to optimize or to rebalance the bicycles between the different clusters to ensure that the highest ratio of usage can be found in that, or we can improve the ratio of rental processes. For this purpose, we first, of course, try to model the situation of bicycle usage, try to identify the patterns of a rental bicycle transfer between the different clusters. And the lines in this diagram illustrates per hour of day the net flow, the movements between or the movements for each cluster. And you can recognize that there are some clusters with a strong movement during the day connected to several specific time slots corresponding, for instance, with the start of working time or end of school, some similar pattern we found in our data set. The same way we analyze the situation for the days of the week, what kind of usage pattern can be assigned for Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on for the specific cluster type. And you recognize we intend to model the expected rental behavior for the future to identify those clusters that need an additional bicycle configuration there for supporting the demands or for implementing the demands. And the same was necessary, and this was a result of our first 2.5 months. It was necessary to select or to separate the different months of the year for covering seasonal effects too. And you can recognize several of the clusters have a strong seasonal relation, especially in summertime or in winter. It depends on certain events in Schkeuditz. Okay, now we identify the potential usage patterns, and based on it, we generate a redistribution plan. We have our clusters, the goals of the redistribution. Now we ask for the opportunity to transfer existing bicycles to the corresponding positions. And for this purpose, we optimize the track length between the several points. So the robot should have a shortened track as possible. And this means our person substituting the robot needs to know where the corresponding tracks can be implemented. And of course, we would like to avoid risky situations, junction configurations and similar. So we are looking for pure bicycle and pedestrian tracks for the transfer job. The redistribution plan is generated as a PDF document, so the person in Schkeuditz can easily walk from one bicycle position, scan the according commands with a mobile phone, and afterward it receives all instructions necessary to find the appropriate position of a transfer job. Sounds perfect. What are the problems we confronted? Of course, the situation of the availability of bicycles is sometimes really difficult. If we assume that a robot should lift up the front wheel of the bicycle for transfer to a new position, such scenarios are, of course, really difficult to manage. So in this case, a robot wouldn't be able to choose this specific bike. On another hand, the question is related to the mass of bicycles, and for this purpose, we developed a small web-based check mechanism. First, AI evaluated each photography of the specific situation. So in this way, we collected a huge amount of images of bicycles in the situation when they should be transported. And afterward, it was a student job to check the assessment of our AI implementation. So we ask for the specific environmental conditions. There are some obstacles in the close to the bicycle. Would it be possible to manage the transfer job by a robot? And this is a job we have to analyze afterwards and try to define the number of bicycles in a real-world scenarios that can be handled by an autonomous system. In some cases, it's very easy, as on the left side. In other challenging situations, we have problems to implement a corresponding lift-up mechanism. Of course, the idea here related to the same orientation of all bikes would be a hybrid approach. It would be necessary to find the best suited bicycle in such a swarm of devices which can be handled in the easiest way. Handling of bicycles, and on the other hand, we have a problem related to our tracks. We determine the transfer paths, transfer trajectories of our human in the city based on aerial photography and using OpenStreetMap data sets. But of course, there are some obstacles we cannot forecast, we cannot plan in this situation. For instance, some obstacle directly located on the pedestrian track, static obstacles or dynamic obstacles are really interesting for us, and they block the track, the intended track, periodically or in all cases, and we have to consider such additional information in our planning process too. At the end of the investigation, we would like to have a kind of best practice idea for redistribution mechanisms of robots for rental services. Currently, we work with 30 to 50 bicycles in Schkeuditz scenario, but of course, we are looking for investigating the transferability of the approach to other cities. Many thanks for your interest.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. Well, at least me, I have two questions, but we are far behind the schedule, so I will just ask anyone in audience if they have. If not, I really need to give floor to Matti from Baden-Württemberg, just for us not to be cut from Zoom, to allow others also to present. But Sebastian, can we ask you to send us also, and I mean with all participants, we will share presentations with your contact if anyone has any question, of course.
Of course, and I will add a link to our project repository. Probably someone has really good ideas about the redistribution algorithm. Thanks for your interest.
Thank you. Matti, feel free to
go. Okay, thank you so much for the invitation. Okay, I have to hurry up, but first of all, also a warm welcome to Kati Weiler from BCS, from the National Car Sharing Association, and also to Martin Hovekamp from the National Ride Pooling Association. So, I will share my whole screen. Yes, it works. Now you will see my presentation. I just have about 5 slides, and then we will go to a little live presentation. Yes, what the main project goes, and we want to pool all carpooling offers in our region, and we want a fast, convenient, free route search, and the main project goal, and we want a new focus on ride sharing, on ride pooling. Yes, I will skip these slides about the tender and the award of the contract with the provider. The main timeline was to find data providers who want to share the ride pooling offers, and then we gone live in January this year with our meta information platform. Yes, here a little summary. We have a provider neutral and cross-provider bundling of all ride-sharing offers in our region. we have a open source solution, and we have a pure root and provider search. So we have no competition with commercial providers. And we also have a big ties about information about carpooling and how to commute, and how companies can have a good marketing about carpooling. Yes, and then we also have a big map with all P&M, so in English, P&R parking spaces. Yes, and we also have a introduction about our ride-sharing platforms who cooperate with us. Okay, but now it would be easy. I will show you the homepage. Yes, now you can see the homepage, or Marco?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yes, and that's the homepage from Mitfahren BW in German. We first have a little introduction, what is carpooling, and then we have some slides about the P&R and parking spaces, about all the carpooling providers who share their rights with this Meta platform. And we have a tie about FAQ, so in English, Q&A. And then we have two ties with information for the municipalities. And we also have a tie for companies. So what could companies do to have a good carpooling offers at the company? Yes, but the main thing, you could search carpooling offers. So here I have an example. I search rides from Ulm, so a big a capital, and also a big city near the border in Bavaria, and maybe we want to drive to main station at the capital Stuttgart. Yes, and then we will have two carpooling offers. The first offer was from the platform Fahrmobil, and the second offer was from Fahrgemeinschaft.de. Then you will see the map. Maybe I have a little minimize it. So you see Germany, and then we have our region Baden-Württemberg. Yes, and also we have the P&M, so the P&M PPR parking spaces you will see. And yes, and nowadays we have about 600 carpooling offers who lies at the back end, so you can search. Yes, and our main target now, we want more and more carpooling providers who share the data with us, so that all people who search a ride find their ride. Yes, and that's it shortly. So maybe we have some time for discuss also the other guys. Yes.
Thank you very much, Matti. I really invite you all actually to also subscribe to some Polis newsletters, because there we already put a lot of information about our very active member Baden-Württemberg, and I have been in touch with Matti's colleagues about their future activities and pilot actions. I don't know if there are any questions for Matti. Really nice presentation about your platform. If not, Daniel, I mean, without further ado, you can introduce yourself. My colleague Daniel from Polis Network.
Thank you, Marco. So I'll press start share my screen. So let's see. So you see is the presentation one here. Then I have to switch. You see the full screen, right? No.
Yes, it's
good. So I'll be brief. So my name is Daniel Herrera. I work as a project coordinator at Polis, and I'm colleagues with Marco and Ben, who are our hosts today. I would like to present you the Model Hubs project. It's a project from the Interreg North Sea program. It's focused on mobility and logistic hubs. So the idea of the project is to combine mobility and logistic services in hubs to cut emissions, reduce traffic congestion, and have more livable spaces. So we have different type of pilots that reflect these objectives with different type of implementations. But I'll be quick because I think all this information about the project. So just briefly, we are 15 partners across the North Sea region. We basically have the objective to have these implementations to have more so hubs that combine more services and are of better use for citizens that contribute to changing their behavior for certain practices and also to improve the urban flows through a better or more efficient freight services. So for that, this project has three types of pilots, let's say, that represent this project objectives. So the first is pilots focus on, or hubs focus on return flows and collection points. So there's a lot of circular economy involved in these hubs. And then we have some hubs that are work as service logistics for maintenance and repair services. So these are more like part and switch type of hubs for these services. And then we have hubs that are more focused on pickup points and micro hubs, combining different mobility services. So these hubs are let's talk about the target groups who benefit from this implementation. So we have local, regional, national public authorities, business support organizations, research organizations, infrastructure and public service providers. We have also municipal waste disposal / recycling organizations, small and medium enterprise, and of course citizens. We have 5 pilots, but I'm going to focus on 3 of them. So this first pilot is in the city of Amsterdam. So basically, it's a part and switch pilot focus on service logistics. So basically, they have a part and switch just outside the low emission zone of the city. And basically, they have this parking building owned by the municipality, where they have a hub where they have different type of low electric light electric vehicles, where technicians and repair services can leave their vans and take one of these light electric vehicles and access the low emission zone, where in a city such as Amsterdam, which is very dense, there's no this scarcity of public space. It's easier to basically go through different streets and be more efficient in their services. So here you have a picture how the hub looks in the parking building. So you see you have a micro car, you have cargo bikes, you have mopeds. There you have one service repair person, technician, which is in a cargo bike. But this is not all, it's not as simple as it looks. So there are some nuances in the way this pilot works. So, for instance, not all services or not all repair services are. So it's not easy to accommodate the different tools and the different elements they need to work in these vehicles. So it also depends on the type of service that you are working on. It works mostly on repetitive or predictable stops in dense areas, and where you can also have like a place where you can store some of the tools that you're going to use. And they also have basically to change your behavior. Like it's not these drivers are used to so their van is like their office, so they're used to be there and do many things there, and so it's really difficult also for some of them to adapt to these light electric vehicles. I will leave you my contact at the end, because of course I can, if you are interested to know about this type of services, I can connect you with the pilot leaders who are able to give you more details about these services. But this is just a general overview. The city of Mechelen is also piloting. So this is more focused on micro hubs and pickup points, and this is with the concept of the neighborhood hubs, and it's framed within the Flanders, the region of Flanders in Belgium mobility hub strategy. So there in these hubs, they have different shared vehicles. They have parcel lockers for the postal service, so that also it's a way for citizens to use these services and have like logistics, but also mobility services close by. They are also implementing a park and switch style of hub, and they have partnered with specific companies. For instance, the water management company in Flanders, which is called PIPA. And it's a similar concept. So they leave their van in a hub outside of the main ring of the city, and then they use these vehicles to do all the services they need to do in the inner city. Some findings about this pilot. So the hub location is important. There needs to be reliability in the service, like in the vehicles, because some findings in this pilot is that the vehicles they need to adapt them and change them constantly, and the same aspect of behavior with the drivers as well. So they need to adapt as well. But yeah, more insights on this, I can connect you with the pilot leader. And then we have a pilot in Hamburg on logistics. Oops, I lost the connection of my second screen. I hope, very sorry. So yeah, this is about circular economy and waste collection. So basically, these hubs are meant to avoid citizens to go to take their car and go to a recycling yard to throw away their hazardous or bulky waste. So there you can drop off your waste, and also they offer different services. For instance, you can buy special bags for disposing your waste, and also you can. It's like a place where you can exchange different items as well. So this is how it looks. And this is fully sustainable. So it works with renewable energy, with solar panels. But in Hamburg, I think they have an issue with the sun, because one of the one of the issues is that they need to redesign the hubs so it is so they can actually catch more sun, and it's also some of the insights is that the structure also needed to be different. So they needed to have the different models in a row, change the size of the compartments, and other let's say technical improvement that they had to do throughout the development of the pilots. I can connect you also with the pilot leader on this. We are also, this is the end of the presentation. So we have also different cross-cutting topics in the project led by knowledge partners who are doing research on specific aspects of implementing the hubs, for instance, the spatial and city design aspects, socioeconomic aspects, logistical aspects, user experience, and business model. So this is based on a definition of KPIs that they did at the beginning of the project, and it's been a constant process of monitoring and evaluation. Some findings already that we have from this process is, for instance, we have some reports on how to properly design these hubs. So it's a spatial planning and city design guide. We also have a strategy to measure the impact of this type of hubs, again, based on the KPIs defined. So you will have this in the project website along other resources. Here you have the code to the website, the QR code, and also my contact if you want to know more about this project. Apologize, we didn't have more time, but and that it was a bit brief, but I hope it is of interest to you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Daniel. And I mean, thank you, all of you. I mean, as Daniel just said, we did have a bit short time for these discussions, but what we really want to highlight in this REFOCUS webinars is that we're always sharing both recordings, but also presentations with, I think, a lot of links. So thank you to all today, Mati, Ike, Ianiro, Jorge, because you really shared a lot of links and a lot about projects. So maybe before just closing the webinar, I will ask our colleague Iliana from CERT maybe to announce some really nice events that we are planning for Civitas Forum. Feel free to go, Iliana.
Thank you very much, Marco, and thank you very much everybody that participated in this really interesting, at least for me, webinar. So I wanted to grab this opportunity to firstly invite you all to the Civitas Forum that CERT will co-organize this year in Thessaloniki, Greece. So yes, the theme is competitive, connected, and resilient urban mobility. So I want to use this opportunity to invite you all to register as spectators if you would like to join us. Unfortunately, the call for speakers is closed at this moment. However, you can still apply and organize workshops as side events for Civitas still. If you have, I don't know, maybe a topic, project, whatever, under the umbrella of sustainable and smart urban mobility. Yeah, and finally, I wanted to inform you all that we have an open call for exhibitors in case you are not interested in organizing a webinar. You can still take this opportunity to maybe publish a poster or whatever you might want to communicate in this forum this year. So yes, thank you all again. And thank you, Marco, for organizing this.
Thank you, Eliana, and I really hope that we actually continue some of the discussions, especially with projects presented here. So really hope to see you in Thessaloniki all, where I know that a lot of Civitas, but not only Civitas, but also Interreg community projects will be presented.
Oh,
Thank
just
you. Yeah.
one more thing. If you're still interested in the Civitas Forum, you can maybe send your inquiries or whatever you want to find more information about in this link that I just shared. I just shared it to Mark only, so let me just send it again. Yes, that's it from my side.
Thank you. See you all.
Thank you.